Good morning, everyone. That music's just heck loud. I'm just going to turn the music down a little bit so that I can hear myself. Let me know if that's more suitable in chat, guys. Okay, so today. Let's turn this music down even a little bit more. That's a bit better. Okay, hopefully that's not too loud or is at the right level of volume for everyone. Okay, we did it. We finally got to 50 followers, which is awesome. So thank you very much to everyone that's helped out, given us a follow, a cheeky follow. There's 4 different, if you're not aware, there's 4 different things you need to do to become an affiliate with Twitch. You need to get 50 followers, which is what we've now done. You need to stream for a certain amount of hours, which we've done, and you need to stream. So that's the second. You need to stream on a number of individual days over a 30-day period, which we've done. And the final one, which is what we're going to work on at the moment, which is getting our average viewers per stream above 3. So over a 30-day period, let's say you have a bunch that are 3 people watching, 3 people viewing, but then you have some that are 2, or you have some that are 1, that drags your overall average down. Much the same as if you have 50 people, it will drag your average up. So I do appreciate everyone tuning in to the stream. If you're unable to participate in chat, that's okay. I'm at this point in time, what I'm looking to do is get that metric so that I can start to push the channel forward. After affiliate, there's partner. That's where I'm sort of focusing on now. But the key thing about it is just getting those metrics hit so that we can actually start to do things like have emotes, have different types of options for you guys in stream to be able to interact and to participate in the sort of the channel. We'll get there. So anyway, I just wanted to shout out and say thank you to everyone. I really do appreciate it. It's been really awesome just to have the conversations, especially over the last probably 3 or 4 days. As I'm getting closer, a lot of people that have followed the channel are contacting me and sort of saying, can you help? Can you do this? Best thing you can do, just enjoy, give me feedback. Feel free to go and follow. Thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it. A couple of people in chat that have said congrats. Yep. Hyping it up. I really do appreciate it. If you want to get in more engaged, I have a Facebook page, the BigCraigO. Go and join there. I'll post up there. You can interact with me a lot easier, obviously because it pops up on my phone and regardless of time zones. I also have a YouTube channel, the BigCraigO, where I upload all of the streams that I do. It's a good way of interacting, and in the future, I'll keep sort of streaming on on Twitch, but it'll be linked into Facebook, which some of you have already seen, YouTube and other ways, so just doing live events as well. Cool. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. So, a couple of things to call out. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or Greenwich Mean Time plus 10. The other things to be mindful of, obviously, with the festive season coming up, it's going to be a bit wackadoo. There's going to be a few changes. I've got parental responsibilities that are going to mean that I'm going to have to flex a little bit with when I'm streaming, but I'll advise everyone on Facebook about that, and I'll put up some information in the streams. Yeah, all good in the hood. Twitch partnerships. So just so everyone's aware, Spectrum Games have been gracious enough to put a code, give us a code that we can actually type in, friends of the stream. If you're using their online portal, feel free to go on there, check out what, if there's anything you want. If there's stuff there if there's stuff that you want that's not there, contact them. They may be able to get it for you. Ultimately, the crew that work there, the owner of the business and the team that work there, really, really helpful. Generally, a small business mentality, trying to grow larger than what they currently are, and they're doing a good job from my perspective. The offer they've got for us is 5% off at checkout. Basically, you just type in Spectrum's greetings, and that will give you the discount. It's not something that I directly get any money from or anything like that, but I just want to support the channel because I know the guys, I know the owner of the business, and he's a really good guy. I also want to make sure that if I can, I'd like to see people enjoying a game that I'm very passionate about. So that's really cool. I really do enjoy playing Magic, both physical in paper, face-to-face Magic, and also digitally. Where because of my location in far north Queensland, it's more challenging to play face-to-face as much as what I used to. But that being said, I still build decks, I still, play games with friends. I'm slowly corrupting my friendship circle up here as well. So that's pretty cool. All right. So what have I talked about? Stream, when we stream, the fact that I've got family duties to do over Christmas, which everyone does. We've talked about the channel sponsorship. I think really what it comes down to now is just let's just get back into playing some games. So first things first, the challenges for today, we've got a blue and green spell requirement, cast 20 blue or green spells, you can see there. I've gone and got some green decks and put them in already last night, so we can rock and roll with that. We'll go through those deck types. The winner's wheel, got 15 games, got 14. I've already chipped one away. I couldn't help myself. As far as the store goes, let's go and check that out and see what's going on. Okay. Holy McDooley. Okay, the more astute of you may realise that I've spent a bit of gold yesterday. I got access to a few different things that I needed or wanted, so I did that. Slaughter Priest of Mogus card style. Yeah, okay. The only thing that I would, I say the only thing. This is kind of cool. Cancel, negate. Yeah, look, it's not going to help me play any better. So moving on with our life. Where we stand at the moment, Platinum Tier 2 still. 1 pip to go until we get to Platinum Tier 1. We've got 22 days until the season clicks over. So we'll play some games today and hopefully progress that. That'll be cool. Let's go and have a look at the deck. So I've been running this Aura deck and I really like it. I really, really like it. I think it's not super crazy level powerful. Hey, thanks, Thanks, Hammer. That's awesome, dude. I hope you're having fun on your raid, man. Sorry, someone in stream's just messaging, which is awesome. Yeah, cool. So this is a deck that I've been running for probably, let's call it a week or so. I really like the deck. I think that it's got a lot of resilience. I think it's got a lot of tools to be able to just compete. Not insanely, it's not insanely powerful where it knocks people out in turn 2 or anything like that. But it's got a lot of answers to a lot of the decks that are in the format at the moment, the meta. It's got removal. It's got creatures that you can bring back from the graveyard using Loris. It's got, a lot of different bits and pieces that just make it good. It's got a good suite of removal is the key thing. As I've been posting up about that, a few people that watch the stream and also comment on videos and bits and pieces on YouTube and in Facebook were talking about different card choices. So we sort of coupled together, whatever you want to call it, this alternative version to the deck. Now, I'm going to give it a run. I really like the interaction, as you may remember, with Arcfiend's Vessel and cards like Call of the Death Dweller. So what this does is it allows you to bring 2 creatures back from your graveyard that have a converted mana cost of 3 or less. So what it allows you to do is basically bring 2 of these guys back from your graveyard, and when they come back from the graveyard, they get turned into 5/5 flying demons, which seems fairly strong. This is another card that was recommended, which is an instant for 1 black. Choose target creature, you lose 2 life till end of turn. That creature gains when the creature dies. Return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. So the idea is you have one of these, it's going to die, you cast this onto it, this creature dies, it hits the graveyard, it comes back, but it doesn't come back as a 1/1, it comes back as a 5/5 flying demon, which is pretty good upgrade. Other than that, it's fairly similar to the other deck. The only things that I would suggest is that it's only got a single Loris, so it doesn't rely as much on Loris as the other deck does. But I'm willing to give it a go. Yeah, just for the more astute of you. So the 1 card that's in our sideboard is this card here. So it's got companion mechanics, and companion mechanics takes up 1 spot in your graveyard, in your sideboard. Doesn't really affect us because we're using it for best of 1 anyway. Best of 1 game. So that's that. The challenge that we've got today is green or blue. Now, I had a look for blue decks, and I had a look for green, blue, or Simic decks, and there are a few there that were pretty good, but I thought we've been talking a little bit on stream. Yeah, they are really good. So the comment in chat, just for those of you watching this on YouTube, is that the flip lands seem really strong. They are. There's a lot of effects there that just augment what you're already doing, and they're a land, so it gives you that flexibility. So, yeah, pretty gas, definitely. Hence why you put them in. And most decks will have 1 or 2 different types of those lands because it suits what they're trying to achieve. We've been talking a little bit about the food decks that have been going on, so I thought we'd give it a run. I'm a big one, if you haven't guessed already, for consistency index. I don't like sort of sitting there and feeling like I can't do stuff. And I think that the food deck is positioned pretty well. I wouldn't say it's a tier 1. It's not so much that it is really powerful in any particular area, but it's got that consistency that I like. It is a deck that sort of, it's unrelenting. It just keeps going and powering on bit by bit by bit, and it gains value that way. The key things with this particular deck, if we have a look at it, let me just bring this up, is it runs the Wicked Wolf. Wicked Wolf is really good spell, really good creature. So it's 2 green, 2 other for a 3/3. When it comes into play, it fights 1 creature that you don't control, so it basically gets into a 1-on-1 fight. You can sacrifice a food token, and it gets +1/+1 and indestructible until end of turn. So the idea would be that you bring it in, it punches something smaller. If there's something slightly larger, you bring it in, you can sacrifice food tokens that you've got in play to make it large and also indestructible, and then it fights those things. So that's kind of cool. The other things that are in this deck, as far as super punchy, is the Feasting Trollkin. For 6 mana, this is off tap. So it looks pretty intimidating in a multicolored deck because it's got 4 green and 2 other. So if you were in a red-green, say, deck, it can be quite challenging to get 4 green together. And there's going to be hands where that's just not going to happen. In a mono-coloured deck that this is, all the land is green. So it's 6 mana, straight up. So 6 mana for a 7/6 is fantastic. 6 mana for a 7/6 with Vigilant is just cray-cray. 7/6 should be an uncommon, yeah? Because it's 6. So if all things were equal, a 2/2 for 2, so 2 power, 2 toughness creature for 2 mana, would mean that it's a common card. That's the way that works. If it's got an ability, then it should go up to uncommon slot. If it's got 2 abilities, it should go up to rare slot. Pretty cool. Then obviously your mana cost comes into that as well. So the more colors it's got, the more challenging it is to cast, the harder it is to cast, the less powerful that card would be when it comes to all things being equal. So I don't know if I'm being clear here, but the idea would be that for the Trollkin, in most decks, getting 4 mana together in a multicolored deck would be quite challenging. In this deck, it doesn't make any difference because it's all green mana. So that's pretty cool. It's got Vigilance, which means it doesn't need to attack to attack. It can attack and it stays there, so it can still do its blocking duties. It's also got Trample, which means that they can't chuck a 1/1 in front of it and expect the damage to get washed away. It will actually push that damage through to the opponent. And, sorry, I just go back to it for a sec. You can, when it comes into play, when you cast it from hand, I should say, you create 3 food tokens. You can sacrifice 3 food tokens to return the Feasting Troll King from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your turn. So what this means is, it comes into play, it brings 3 food counters into play. You can punch away. Now, if they remove it, kill that creature, it goes to your graveyard, you can choose to sacrifice the 3 food it made, and it comes back out of your graveyard and lands back on the battlefield. Now, it doesn't re-trigger and make 3 more food then, because it hasn't been cast from your hand, but it's come back into play and it's still back on the battlefield. So in essence, it's got that ability to sustain itself. Don't forget, the food helps make the wolves bigger as well. So that's pretty damn cool. Other things that are in this deck, it's got some ramp, it's got Trail of Crumbs, which is an enchantment for 1 green and 1 other. When Trail of Crumbs enters the battlefield, create a food token. Obviously the synergies there aren't lost. Whenever you sacrifice a food, you may pay 1. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library, you may reveal a permanent card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. It just helps you to be able to build your deck, keep pushing forward, and most importantly, from an aesthetic point of view, that artwork is killer. I love it. The Hansel and Gretel factor. So, not a bad deck, so we're going to give this a bit of a run. It's consistent. We should be able to knock out some wins with this. The other deck is, and this is a late addition to what we're doing. Those of you that aren't aware, Hello Good Game is another streamer for Arena. He's a very sizable streamer, but I really like his content. He's a quirky, funny guy who enjoys playing Magic. He has been playing particular decks, and this was one that he was sort of talking about just recently. I was having a chat with him last night about different types of games and different formats and things. And he's pushing the top 200 players in Magic worldwide. So I guess if he's saying this is a good deck in the green sort of sphere, I'll give it a run and see where we go. From my point of view, it's got all of the makings of a solid deck. So in the 1-drop spots, a 1-drop, so 1 green for a 1/1. It comes into play with a +1/+1 counter that you can build up and make larger using other mana. Anytime a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it gets targeted by your opponent, you make a 1/1 insect token, which is nice. Stone Coil Serpent. It's great against that multicolor. It's got reach. There's a few things that green decks struggle against sometimes, which is reach. This helps you fill that gap. Primal Might, 4 of these. 1 green and X. Target creature you control gains XX, so whatever you put into it. Then it fights 1 other target creature you don't control. Just good for pushing damage and being able to snipe things off. Tangled Florahedron. I think that's a cool way of saying a mana dork. So by that I mean it's a creature that can make mana. So a 1/1 creature that can be tapped to make 1 mana. The other flip side of the card is it can come into play tapped as a land, so that gives us that flexibility there as well. Wildborn Preserver, 1 green, 1 other. Flash, so it means it can be cast as an instant onto the battlefield. Quite nice. Whenever another non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X, where when you do, put X +1/+1 counters on Wildborn Preserver. Oh my golly gosh. You cast a creature. So let's say that we've got one of these bad boys out, and then you cast a Tangled Florahedron or a Swarm Shambler. You can then pay X. So you can just make this large and in charge. Love it. Ambush, like we said, creatures fighting. So this is for 1 green, 2 other. You can have a creature you control fight a creature you don't control. The other option is that you can play it as a tapped land, which is not bad. Lovestruck Beast, All-Star, has been around for a while now, seeing a lot of use. It's a 1 green, 2 other for a 5/5 beast creature, a beast noble. The only downside to this, or condition to this, is that it can only attack if you control a 1/1 creature. Conveniently, on the card, there is an adventure sorcery that you can create a 1/1 white human creature token. So it's got those 2 spells. Excuse me. Mammoth, 2 green, 1 other. Okay, so there we come into that. If it's in a mixed deck, it can be a little challenging. In a mono green deck, it doesn't make any difference. It's a landfall 3/3, so whenever a land comes into play, whilst it's on the battlefield, it gets +2/+2. Or you can play it as a tapped mana, green mana, which is nice. Yorvo, Lord of Garenbrig, 3 green. When he enters the battlefield, he comes in with 4 +1/+1 counters on him. Whenever another green creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter. If that creature's power is greater than Yorvo's power, put another +1/+1 counter on him. So he just gets big and big and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then is just punching through that damage, which is lovely. Gem Razor, got 2 of these in the deck. It's a mutate card, so it's 1 green and 3 other to cast it from your hand onto the battlefield. It's got reach and trample. You can choose to mutate it, which means you're basically casting it on top of another creature for 2 green and 1 other, so slightly cheaper, but having that green mana cost increase, which doesn't really affect this deck. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Really good for taking out other people's henges, really good for taking out things like Embercleaves, which, if you're a follower of the channel, will appreciate. I'm a big fan of killing Embercleaves. Good card, like it. Questing Beast, this is another all-star. It's been around and it's really punchy. 2 green, 2 other for a legendary beast creature, 4/4. It's got Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked. Questing Beast, not Beach. Questing Beast can't be blocked with creatures with power 2 or less, so that's pretty good for those sort of wide decks that have lots of small creatures. This thing just pushes through the damage. It's got Vigilance, it's got Death Touch, and it's got Haste. You're casting it, you're punching in for 4 damage, and you're sitting there ready to block something large potentially, and it's got Death Touch, so you only need to do 1 point of damage to that creature to kill it, your opponent's creatures. So that's kind of nice. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. There's not a huge amount of that in the current format, but ultimately it just means that you're going to be able to push damage through. There are a few different decks that run some cards that do obscure cards that stop you from being able to do maximum amounts of damage. This just goes, actually no, I'm going to override all of that. The other thing that happens too with this, which is quite good, quite often you'll find yourself in a situation where you've got maybe a Planeswalker, your opponent's got a Planeswalker cast and they're doing stuff, and their life total, and you've got to pick where you want to put your damage. The Questing Beast is really cool because when it does damage, as it says there, whenever a Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, that it deals that much damage to target Planeswalker that player controls. So let's say your opponent's on 12 life and they've got a Planeswalker out. doesn't matter which one. You do 4 damage to them, they drop to 8, and you get to allocate 4 damage to a Planeswalker as well, which is great. Hey, how you going, buddy? We'll be playing some black decks a bit later on. So we're going to play some green to start off the stream today, and I hope it's lovely in France today. Okay, so Questing Beast, great card. Vivian's there just to allow us to sort of bulk out our creatures, gives us the ability to make a 3/3 beast token with either vigilance, reach, or trample. Most of the time I find myself putting reach counters on it because it stops those flyers, pesky flyers. It also has the ability, the Planeswalker also has the ability of -2, so when you cast a creature, you can go and get a creature of less mana casting cost and put that onto the battlefield as well. So it's pretty cool. Another flip land here, so comes into play, you can choose to take 3 damage, and it comes into play untapped. maybe. You can bring this into play untapped, take 3 damage, or bring it into play tapped. The other option is if you've got a fair bit of mana and you draw into this late game, you can look at the top. You pay 3 green and 4 other, so 7 mana in total. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If that creature has a converted mana cost of 3 or less, it enters with 3 additional +1/+1 counters on it. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Just helps fixing. And then finally, the Great Henge. Now, this is a really, really awesome card. If you can get this to stick on the battlefield, you're in a really good place. So this spell costs X less, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Obviously with things like Yorvo, etc., you can start to get some big creatures, which reduces the cost to cast this particular artifact. You can tap this artifact and get 2 green mana, and you also gain 2 life, which is really helpful. Excuse me. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Helps you to cycle through your deck. I will say it's really important to remember, if you have this in play, don't forget that when you cast a 1/1 creature, not that this, so you put this fellow into play, it becomes a 2/2. This comes a 2/2. So just be mindful of that. I've seen a lot of people have played against, and I've done it a few times as well, where I've gone and played a 1/1 creature so that my Lovestruck Beast can attack, and then the Henges put a +1/+1 counter on it, which means it still can't attack because it's a 2/2 then. And then finally, just to round out the mana suite, we've got 14 basic lands, but we've got 3 Castle Garenbrig. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. Shouldn't be a problem in this particular deck. Tap it, add 1 forest. You can pay 2 green and 2 other. Tap, add 6 green mana. But you can only spend this mana to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. All very good in this deck, considering the suite of what we've got to work with. Whew, that was a lot of talking. So, let's play some games. I'm saying that the first thing we should do is chip out this green challenge. So, let's play the Great Green Henge deck to start off with, and see if this deck can do the same good work it did for Hello Good Game. Wow. Alright, so looking at this hand, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. 2/2, yeah, look, I don't really know if this is a good hand, but I think at this point, looking at it, it's got mana, and that's always a good sign. Yep. Krabby McCrabbington. So, I think we might be up against the mill deck. What a surprise. Yeah. So we're just going to build up our mana at this stage. Not going to worry about attacking. So currently we have 1, 2, 3 mana. Alright, so we're going to play this guy taps. This is a land. Now we decide whether or not we're going to punch this. I think we should punch this, so let's do that. 2. Yeah. So they're either going to potentially kill my swarm. Yeah, they're going to bounce it. Okay. Alright, so unfortunately that doesn't happen. And we're back to where we were. -1 primal might. Lose 1 card. If they play a land, we'll lose another 3. No. Okay. Alright. If they bounce it again or kill the... Yeah, they're bouncing it again. Alright. I'm alright with this. Let's keep building up our mana at this stage. Not going to attack. Hopefully they didn't draw a land, but if they do, hopefully it's just to lose 3 cards. Okay. So we're going to lose 3 cards this turn. 2 from the Soaring Thought Thief and 1 from when the Wind Robber hits us. Yeah. Play this tapped. Okay. No attacks. Take 4 damage. So they've only got 3 mana up, so if they had 4 I would have blocked. Only because of the fact that I don't want them to get, if they have the big rogue. What have we got here? Let's do this. Play this guy. Attack with this and this. I hope they don't bounce the Preserver back to our hand, because I'd like to be able to block the Soaring Thought Thief or the Wind Robber. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. No damage through. Yeah. Oh my god. Whoo! Tough gig, guys. Yes. Okay. So I got 3. Yeah, we can't block everything that's coming through, but that's okay. We want to play as many spells as we could, so we've done that. Probably should have played this onto one of these, onto this guy. Good game. Well, that was a fairly brutal start to the day. That's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. Nine out of 20. Give it another run. Best of 3 games. See if it works for us. Alright. Yeah! We got to do some damage this game. What an upside. There's a little bit of life gain going on here, for sure. I just tapped. Nice. Hey, stop undoing all the damage I'm doing. Golly gosh. And just activate this just so that we don't die. Stop 1 point of damage getting through. Play this. Play this. attacks. End turn. So we need to draw some creatures. That would be really, really helpful. Let's make this larger, gain some life. That's not a creature. Just wanted to get rid of something. Yeah. Geez, they've drawn a lot of mana. Yay, a creature. Play a land. Play a creature. Hopefully we can start to stream things together here. No, we get a land. Oh, dear. Oh, dearie, dearie me. I didn't increase the size of that, I don't think. No attacks at this turn. Yeah, Heliod. Oh my gosh. We're in trouble, boys and girls. I think Black Deck wins is a much better deck. Yeah, I get you. Okay, so this is our one white 1/1, so that this guy can attack, because it's not a it's a token creature, so it doesn't get +1/+1, which is nice. So hopefully they'll sacrifice one of these two. Yeah. All right. Cool. 6/9, indestructible. +1 counter on that. Not what I wanted, but it is what it is. So +1/+1 on that. Yeah. Nice. Loris. Okay, we're in trouble. Okay, they're going to start making angels now. Yeah. Yeah, we did 2 damage. Alright, so that did not go the way we expected or hoped it to. But we've got one more game. No worries, man. Look, if you want to leave a window open and just put me on mute, I'm happy for that to happen, my friend. I really appreciate the watch. So one of the people in stream is it's 2 a.m. and they're in Europe. So yeah, I can imagine it's a tough gig. Sleep well. Let's see if I can get 1 victory using this henge deck. That'd be nice. Just one victory. Lots of land. Only 1 creature though. I'm going to mulligan this just because it doesn't seem secure. Yeah, this is okay. Keep this. It's got 2 creatures, so that makes it much better. Yeah. Okay, I get the impression that this is a Genesis deck. So that's a little scary. We need to get a wriggle on with the damage that we're pushing through. if that's the case. Fabled Passage, yep. And 2 blue, 2 red, and yeah, here we go. Alright, so let's take care of this bad boy. Then attack. Alright, so our opponent has 8 life. They're... Okay. They're getting very close to Genesis if this is the type of deck it is, so... Another Terra Peaks, okay. So what do we got there? 4, 5, so 4. And we win the game. 1 victory. Alright. Okay, so we're going to give this Mono Black Aura deck, the revisited one, a bit of a run. This is from some subscribers' comments. We'll just give it a try, see how it goes. I've been enjoying playing the Mono Black, the Black Deck wins that I've been writing about, or been commenting on. This hand's a bit sketchy. So yeah, this is probably not the ideal way to test out a new type of deck, considering it's got none of the new cards in it. I guess it's got Loris as a companion, but... By all means, just put me on silent in the corner. I'm happy to have that happen, man. I don't want you to be unable to function. If it's 2 AM, that's pretty full on. Okay. Lucky you. Lucky you, my friend. Whereabouts in France are you? I will continue to reply as best I can. Bit of a waste for them for the Skyclave, which I'm really upset about, obviously. Yeah. We don't have lockdown here at the moment, thank goodness. Yeah, that's never a good thing, my friend, so I'm really sorry to hear that. At least for, I guess, if you have an interest that you can do from home, it's not bad. But yeah, I can't imagine it's fun for a lot of people. We've had lockdowns in Australia, but not where I live. Thank goodness. So, but they're all, the restrictions have eased now in Australia. So we'll see what happens. No, that's a-okay, man. Your English is much better than my French, let me tell you that. Whereabouts in France are you? So, Mascan, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is in France, and he's just mentioning that they're in lockdown, and they've been in lockdown since the 1st of November. It's currently the 9th of December. So that's pretty hardcore. So I get to bring this back now using this card, which then allows me to cast another art. See you, buddy. Have a good night. Have a good sleep. See you, mate. Alright, so we basically need to push as much damage as we can. If assuming that they don't do anything else, we will be able to push through lethal this turn. I'm guessing they're going to have something that says no to that. Yep. Alright, that is the end of us bringing stuff back from our graveyard using Loris, because it just got exiled. Yep. They've scryed one. They've kept that on the top. That's not a good thing for us. Is that a life gain egg? Yeah. Okay, so they've killed our 5/5. Play a land. Draw a card. Play a creature. Attack for 1 lifelink. Yeah, they're going to grab one of our... They're going to grab him, yep. Seems fair. I'm going to kill this. Wow. Yep. Pass this first. See if we can get some removal. No. Okay. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could cast that this turn and bounce all of these. That would be bad for us. Yep. No attacks. Yes. Make it 2/2. Why not? I like these decks. This, as those of you that watch and stream, I've played this Esper deck before. It's actually quite powerful. Good game. We had them, you know, in a fairly good position, but then we just seemed to draw a lot of not good answers. So, and I kept a questionable hand to start off with, which is, these are all learning things. Okay. Give this another. So this is our second game to see evaluate the over the 3 games. Okay, so this looks more interesting than what we've had in the past. It's got one of the vessels and it doesn't have any way of recurring it, but that's okay. I'm guessing that we will... I'm thinking that we'll... I'll chuck this out and see if it gets hit. I don't know what we're up against at this stage. Say hello to our opponent. Leibniz Kex. Oops, okay. It's a response, I guess. Oops. Oh. Red-green. Is it a landfall deck? I guess we'll find out, eh? I'm going to play this. I'm going to leave sorcery for now. Yeah. Ow! Life gain. Just sit back here. Tasty. Sacrifice him so that we don't take that 4 damage. Take 4. It is what it is. Do this. Drop that there. See if they want to block there. If they do, they do. Right. Let them do their thing. The key thing that I'm seeing here is that we've just got to be with this particular deck. You've got to, the hand selection is super important. If you mess up there, you're gone. from my perspective. I think I prefer the other deck, but that might be just because I'm used to playing it. Let's do this. And do this. And do this. None of those guys have 2 or less, so I don't know what it's trying to say. Henge, yeah. Cool. Cool. 3, 7, 8. Yeah. I think Embercleave wrecks us here. As usual. As Embercleave should, being that it's a powerful card. Definitely do that. Alright, so I'm gonna switch to the other deck, I think. Although I did enjoy playing against that white deck. That life gain deck seems to be really well positioned. Let's have a look. I've got a white deck in here. Have I got a life gain one? Is this a life gain deck? Alright, let's just give this a run for a couple of games and see if it actually is performing a little better. It is a strong deck, don't get me wrong, the mono white archetype. So I still think it's mono red, yeah, at the red deck wins is at the top. But it's I would say probably Gruul because of its flexibility. And then after that it's I would say mono white, and then a bunch of decks underneath that are either really, really good or just average. So I think I would say that the black blue rogues deck, so that either the mill strategy or well, they're all mill strategies, but either the one that leans heavily into landfall triggers or not. I think that particular archetype is come off the boil a little bit. Still very powerful, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's in the top 3. It's definitely top 5. These battlefields are very sweet with the Starfield water. Okay. Just keep chipping away. Excuse me. There's a lot of synergy in this deck that just I don't think other decks get. Oh, really? Interesting. Oh, non-creature card. That's why they didn't take that. That makes sense. Because I would have taken Loris, but they can't take Loris, which is why they didn't. Understandably. Oh. Alright, so that's one victory. Let's see our testing ratio of 3. A little less good hand, but it'll do. It'll do, donkey. It'll do. A winky wonky donkey. Okay. Oh. Brutal. Do some damage. Yeah. Keep chipping away. Like, I just don't feel like this deck is not able to do anything. You know, like, it's not stuck going, oh, I can't do anything. It's sort of chipping away. It's doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, trying to push some damage through. I guess we'll see. I mean, it's not over, but the last game we seem to be doing okay as well. Let's go there. And then go... like so. It is what it is. Yep. Alright, so we need to just keep building is the goal. Yeah, alright, so they're going to get some more land. They can play another angel. Nicely done. Play old mate here. Let's make another angel for now. Okay. That was a bit of an oversight on my part. Dream Trawler is a really good card. Flying Lifelink does a lot of really cool stuff. So I think they're going to take out Speaker. Okay. We're going to take out Speaker. Yeah. Unsure what they've got in their bag of tricks. Probably a bounce. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's keep building our little army. 2/5/5 angels are better than a 5 and a 4 angel. No attacks. They play another one of those. If they play another angel, they're going to be able to chip through some damage, but we'll start picking off their other angels. So, they're digging for something here. I'm guessing for digging to try and crush. If they can bounce these, we start getting 12 damage. Yeah, like 3 turns we'd be dead, potentially. So, I just want to make sure that we're... yeah, they're all less than. Let's make another duty. Let's do that. No attacks. Yeah, my spells cost two more. I've got a fair few mana, guys. And all I'm doing is using it to make 1/1s at the moment. Yeah, 100%. I was looking, thinking, oh, what are they going to cast? But I think the Dream Trawler is probably the thing that they'll pick out. So, Daniel Bane is looking at what they're trying to do, as we all are. Oh, that's not very nice. It's not expected. A Dream Trawler? Oh my god. Yeah. Holy dooly, man. We really need to draw another speaker. That's what we need. That's not a speaker. Let's see if we can draw a removal card. Oh! That guy. Hey, Donnie. How are you, brother? Thanks for letting me gain some more life, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, now they're going to counter it. Fair enough. Don's not dead yet. That's always upside, man. Always upside. You got back from Palm Springs safely? %, Don. Always keen. Let me know when you're available for a phone call. I'm gonna have a yarn, even if it's via some hideous online portal. Yeah, Don. So naughty. Hey Stoneberg, thanks for joining in as well. Oh, look at this. Look at this lovely card that I've just drawn. What do I want to get rid of? I think one of the flyers, yeah. Them dirty flyers. Okay. So I gained some life. I gained some duties. Gained some more life. Would have been much better if I had a creature out. The god, what is his name? Heliod out. Ah, they get a 4/4. That's not very nice. Kablamo! Alright. There we go. Make a duty. Get a little bit of time to breathe with our life total as it is, but that's going to run out pretty quick. Okay. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm up against a control deck. Or you don't get to play in the game deck. This is good. Yeah. Ah, the sweet, sweet chin music. Ah, land. It's a bit of a novelty. Okay. So they're going to bring back Dream Trawler, I'm guessing. Oh. Dream Trawler is a great card, don't get me wrong. Oh. Chaining Elsbeths. Ah, you fell into my trap. Oh no, I'm on 39 life. Oh, they're on 30. Oh, land. What a good idea. No attacks. Once I hit affiliate, then you'll be able to, brother. The other way that you'll be able to do it is through cheers and through subscriptions. So that's why it's important that I get enough. So I've hit the followers last night, so I'm now over 50 followers, which is great. I've got the amount of hours in and days in. Now it's just about the average of maintaining over a 30-day period three viewers per stream, which I'm currently 4 times that. So hopefully by the end of December I will be an affiliate and you can help me out. So, but just coming in and saying good day is pretty cool too, man. Hey man, hello Quervirus, however you say that. You've come in to watch me get pummeled by a control deck. That's great. Corvus, like it. That's pretty cool. I could have swore our life totals were the opposite not so long ago. Q, okay, I like it. Yeah, this is... We've drawn a fair amount of land, it would be fair to say. And they've got a bunch of... I was like, oh, we can maybe kill their token, but that's not going to happen. They got a bunch of flyers that we're not... yeah, look, it's a good deck. Q, it is definitely a good deck. I like it. I think it's fun to play against, but it's also, I imagine, pretty good to pilot as well. So, but I'm generally fairly rubbish at Magic anyway. I'm not going to talk it up. There's too many people in the stream that actually know me. So if I say anything like I'm, good at Magic, they'll just destroy me. So, what do we got here? 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22. Yowza. Yeah. Yep. Well, you got 20 odd days to go, so what's your deck of choice to get to Mythic, my friend? Oh, I should have made a token, then I didn't. Yeah, cool. Okay. Colorless in historic. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, artifact ramp. And yes, Ulamog is the boss when it comes to that sort of stuff. For sure. Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of a few of those Ulamog destructions. I was running the Marvel Ulamog deck, so it's a bit of fun when you turn 4, drop an Ulamog and blow up the world. So. From Kaladesh, so it's an artifact that you can pay. So it costs 4 mana to cast, and then you use 6 energy and look at the top. I think it's 6 cards, and pick one of those and put it into play. So yeah, Ulamog into play off the back of that's pretty good. I'll show you after we finish this game. I'll grab the deck that I was running that in. It's just a bit of fun. So it's a sort of a throwback to when Kaladesh was in paper Magic. So. Okay, so I'm gonna play this tapped, because I don't think I'm ever going to use... I say that. I don't think I'm going to use 2 of them. last game it probably would have been good to have one of those. Cool land, hey. Whoops. Let's not blow up blow up the poor doggy. He didn't do nothing wrong. Yep. It's alright. You're gonna give himself a food token? Yep. Okay. Cast heal self on self. Oh no. Okay, cool. I'm alright with you punching that. You get a 0/0 with no power toughness back. Where's the predator? Alright, so play this. Play this. Gain a life like that. It feels like that sometimes, doesn't it, Q? It definitely does, but I think the reality is that if you have too many people playing one deck, it becomes really boring. So yeah, sometimes it's got to be a bit more balanced. That's why I think the diversity of different type deck archetypes is really good. And that's what gives, I think, Magic one of its biggest, in my opinion, benefits, is the fact that it's not boring. It's not the same thing over and over and over again. I would suggest that this needs that. And then I would suggest that this gets that. And then this. And then this. But I mean, it's normal for Magic players, to, myself included, to want my deck to be, you know, the most powerful deck in the world, and not to play against other powerful decks. So I get it. You know, sometimes, yeah, I play Commander, so I really enjoy it. I've got my two main decks for Commander is a colorless sort of artifact deck that I fully foiled out, and then I've got a Esper deck that I really like playing. I've got a couple other ones as well, but it is a lot of fun, that's for sure. Not gonna attack this turn, only because EDH and Commander, same thing. Is that what you mean? Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you mean. On play EDH. Let me know what you mean, Q. So if they attack in, we can give lifelink to something. Okay. Or not.
Bring bread and water for the weak. Come and rest.
Oh, I didn't know about it.
Now is the time.
Did not know about it, I'm afraid. I thought about getting lifelink there, but I want to keep this the extra mana up for this so that I can protect if they want to pick anything off with a primal what's it called, primal hunt, primal fight, whatever it is card, because that would suck if they knock out one of our key pieces. Great henge, nice. Our opponent is now gaining life, which is a little sketch for us. But oh well, it is what it is. Okay. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we can get through with. If we give something protection from green, they won't be able to block it. Yeah, not quite yet.
I trust in your
Right, next turn, hey? Next turn, guys. We will be able to do lethal, hopefully. Yeah. Another elefante. Yeah. All right. So what do we got here?
My sand will protect you.
The they can gain like, what's that? 21 life. They haven't got quite enough mana to do it in this one turn, but they can definitely get toward it. So I'm going to build out to this. Next turn I'm going to make an emblem, so everything will just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. What's that? So they got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they could do like 4 and gain 12 life. What are they going to play? Another wolf that's going to fight something? Okay. What's it going to fight? Yep. They are building up also a sizable force. We really need to get some creatures up. That's what we need. Because at the moment we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures, and they have 3, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for. So Don has asked if we have one of the malls that gives you flying, basically, so that I can fly this dude over and cause 1 trillion points of damage, which would be nice. Everyone would be happy with that, especially me. I'm thinking that... What do I want to get rid of here? We get rid of the goose because I don't want them to get more food. They've got enough food for now. And from my perspective, I don't really mind if they get a 1-1 back. Yeah. They're not going to get a 1-1 back.
We will be found worthy together. Your ally will support you.
I'm waiting to see what they do. I'm guessing that they're going to start trying to knock things off pretty quickly. Because this is going to get fairly brutal pretty quickly. Yes. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see what happens. He's got a flyer now. A 1/3 flyer that can cause a huge amount of damage. Oh, another 1/3 flyer. Our Nemesis. I think this, trying to kill this, is where I'm thinking it's going to go. Yay! Just keep building up and hoping that we can get there. Next turn we start making angel tokens. Is it? Did you would have got to Mythic again this this season already, Dom? I'm guessing. Oh, you reckon? I reckon it's a really good deck. I'd hate to think what it was like before if you don't think it's much chop at the moment. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, Selesnya is pretty awesome. Yeah. Oh. And the bird comes through with the axe. Alright, who are they going to punch? Yeah. Cool. Who are they targeting? Oh, okay. I couldn't see it. Awesome. No more angels. What, the turning them sideways strat? I like it. I'll land, cast this guy back. I reckon if I had a challenge at the moment to play white cards and put +1/+1 counters, I'd be pretty good. Another troll? Oh no. Tangled Kangawalla Fox. Oven, yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're going to mill themselves out. So basically I need to let them do what they think they're doing and then give that indestructible. That's my goal. Okay. So our opponent decided that they could no longer continue just drawing and drawing and drawing. That was unbelievably long a game. So I apologise, guys, if that was mind-numbingly boring. Let's see if we can grind through some quicker games now. Hopefully not so quick and losing. Quicker and winning. That is what we want. Yeah, there you go. There's the mall we were looking for, Don. Yeah, okay. We need to draw another land, but other than that, it's a good hand. I think it's got 2 off the top of my head. I can't quite remember if it's a 1 or a 2 of. I was running more, but I found that I just never needed more than 1. So, I don't know. Seems legit. Don's just written in chat that winning with an Uber Goose with 2 malls on it is real fun. Yep. I reckon that's probably true. Let's go with black. Did I get you to model for this, Don? Is that you? Sans beard. Hey, excuse me, Uni. Stop killing all my stuffs. Okay. I said those critical words of I just need to draw another land. That's what's going on here. Hey, stop eating all my stuff. You're killing it, then you're eating it. It's not very nice. Nissa? Oh no. Okay. Correct on. Yes, I will not. I will never ever confuse. I need to draw another land with by the power of Grayskull. Yep, that's fair cop. By the power of one more land, I will need the power. It's kind of cool. I've got a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old chat, and I was talking to my eldest about cartoons that I watched when I was young, and we talked about He-Man and how I really enjoyed it, and there was blah blah blah. And so she's gone on to Netflix, found He-Man, watched the whole series, watched all of the She-Ra as well, and now is fully just crazy level into all of the lore and everything. It's quite freaky from my perspective. I'm like, holy dooly, how did I create this monster? And now, so she's a big D&D head as well. Both, my whole family is, and yeah, she's like, oh yeah, cool. The Dolph Lundgren movie of He-Man. I don't know. Do you think it's going to add to their visualization of the universe that was created, or take away from it? Which do you feel that it would do? Absolutely not. It's not going to add. It's going to take away. That is such a bad movie. I remember being so disappointed when I saw that. I was like, what is this? Okay. It's rad. Rad as in irradiated. Yeah, it's definitely radiated. Oh, you're hurting my heart, Stoneberg. You're hurting my heart. You're making me feel sad. Mainly because of what you're saying. So, Stoneberg believes that the guy who plays Skeletor in the He-Man Dolph Lundgren movie was a cinematic marvel. Oh, dear God. It is pretty atrocious, to say the least. I remember being so excited when that movie got announced and all that stuff and the hype. I remember the adverts were really edgy and everyone was like, wow, this is going to be so cool. And I went and saw it at the cinema. And I remember just that. Well, I think it might not have been the first time, but it's the time. It definitely brings back the memory of that, just that feeling of disappointment. Like, oh no. I think it was that. Other ones that I can sort of think was the Mighty Machine movie, the Mighty Machine Men movie. So like the Transformers knockoff.
We will protect my home.
Okay, I see. I was like, well, why can't I just block here? So if I do this and this, okay, see what happens, I guess. Alright, we got there. We got there. After a sketchy start with after a sketchy start and being educated by Don on the difference between Castle Grayskull quotes and mana requirements, we got there. It's not a bad hand. And it has all the land I need. So I'm learning. See? Look at me. Who says computers can't learn? I cast heal self on self. So Don reckons that he saw the hand and screamed at the top of his lungs, by the power of Grayskull, Craig has the power. And I'm going to zap you. You can be my cringer. No? It's probably a little bit rude to say that, to be honest. Cast heal self on self. I have the power! Hopefully they don't kill this, because that would make me sad. I'm going to play this because I'm just sketching out. Yes. All right. They took away the power sword. and they killed all of my stuff. Ouch, burn. Sick burn. Uh-oh. I reckon one more of those red, what's it called? Storm's Wrath, and this could be a bad day. But, you know, it is what it is. Surely they'd only have one in their deck. Yeah, okay. Let's find out. Yeah, I get you. You were correct. Cast heal self on self. My 5th level cleric could always feature 6th level barbarian. No. To play against, you mean? Oh, this deck is the worst to play against. It's just sort of puttering along. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. So we got what's here? 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Whoa! What are the chances? Yeah, my 1/1 will take over the world. Ah, they've fallen into my trap. Riveting content, I tells ya. Watch me punt and turn a victory into defeat.
Ghost fire, my greatest creation.
Look, from my perspective, what are the chances they're going to block? Pfft. What? Ah. Alright, I'm just going to duck to the restroom. I'll be back in a sec, guys. Alright, I'm back. Here we go. Alright, let's go. Let's win some games. It's time to win some games, I says. Thanks for the follow, Eric. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's keep this. Say hello to our opponent, Caesar. Karina. Okay. First blood. So France is in lockdown. It's the second lockdown that they've had, and basically means since September they've been in lockdown, which is not very nice. I'm based in Australia, and Australia has been really lucky recently. We've actually opened up a lot of the borders and restrictions that were in place. Where is everyone in chat living, and what restrictions are you currently having in place? If any. Seems good. In Sydney, no carbs after 8 p.m. Yep. Can't get wet. Don't get fed after midnight. All of those things. Seems legit. Well, look out. Player land. Player, see you later. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay. Whoops. No carbs after 8. Yep. That's the restrictions that you that the government's placed on you. The kebab and pizza shops must be very upset. Okay. Play this. Nah, oh, yes. A shish kebab is what we would call that in Australia. Kebab in Australia is meat inside a pita bread with like lettuce, onion, etc. I don't know what you call it in the US. A kebab is what we call it here. A gyro is the one in pita. A doner kebab, yep. That's right. So is a gyro the one in pita in the US? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, yep, spot on. So yeah, so we call them a kebab. What you would call a gyro. A doner kebab. But Yiro. Someone in Sydney is saying that they want a kebab right now. You guys in your healthiness. All right, so Yiro. Okay. It isn't 8 p.m. yet. Get on it. Yeah, guys, did you hear that? You've got approval from Don. He's in Seattle, based in Seattle, I believe. Okay, so those of you that are watching this on YouTube, the chat has devolved into kebab talk. Yeah, we got there. Is it called a snack pack? Yeah, halal snack pack equals kebab, no question. Yeah, there you go. So Don, in the US, do you have snack packs from the Euro kebab shops? They're only healthy if they're blessed by a dietitian. So what it is it's a container, like a package, like a holder thing, with chips on the bottom, and then kebab meat on top of it. And some of them have salads, but kebab meat, and then it's cheese, and then sauce. Am I doing it justice, guys? It's chips. Yeah, that's right, Don. Yeah. So in everywhere except for America, chips. Yeah. A sadness platter. No, that's pretty accurate. Sadness platter. Yep. That's what you can call a Oh, it's so bad, but it's so true. Hammer reckons that there's no way in the world you should get salad on a snack pack. Chips, yes, yeah. So Don, for clarity, majority of Australians would agree. French fries are thin. Chips are like chunks. Yeah, all good, brother. Basically, it's a heart attack in a box, unless it's blessed by a dietitian, like we said. Oh. Holy Trinity of sauce, yeah. But you're making my mouth salivate just thinking about it. Stop it. You're being naughty. Cheese and jalapenos are acceptable. We've got a little bit of a case of the chat is all getting confused as to who they are. You guys are funny. Oh, that's hilarious. Heavy breathing and bromance, yeah. You guys. Yeah, that sounds pretty gas. Yeah. All right, so what's the go-to food in where you live? What's your favorite takeaway? Yeah, same. Sadness platter. Glorious. God. Yeah, look. I think my experience tells me that a lot of the time the from my experience, Mexicans are nothing like it is in the US. Dom's diet is 90%. Right. Oh my gosh. So Donna said in chat, if you're watching this on YouTube, that in response to something that someone else has said, which is that his diet is 90% Domino's pizza, he is saying that that is not accurate because more than 10% of his diet is whiskey. Glorious. I love it. I would not rather be doing anything else right now than listening to you two go at it. That is hilarious. I find it really amusing, Don, and it's your fault. So I've been eating. I'm not even going to repeat that one. Don, when I used to get to hang out with Don in the US, we used to have some adventures drinking lots of whiskeys, and he always looked after me, and it's become something that I really enjoy, to the point that part of the reason why I chose to start eating a ketogenic diet is because I could still drink whiskey neat. So JD is completely fine and will keep you in ketosis. So there you go. That's your fault, I say. Yep. You support my decision to go to yeah. Well, I don't know about you. I know I may not look a lot thinner anymore, but I've lost about 35 kilos since I was last in the US. I've been a bit slack the last few weeks, to be honest, but I need to get back on the. Yeah. I've still got a lot more to lose, but the good thing about it is I can walk around without feeling like I'm dying. So poor Don was the one who used to quite regularly have to ring me Ubers and stuff like that because I was too fat to walk down the street. So yeah, it's been good. Yeah, well, it's actually quite good. Like, so my girlfriend, my partner, she got me one of these. I don't know if you can see this Fitbit thing. And we went to school together, so she's known me my whole life, basically. And she knows how competitive I am. So she bought me a Fitbit because I have a group of friends that have Fitbits. And we all compete to see who gets the most steps in per day, per week, per month. So for what I lack in motivation, when just within myself, I definitely get a lot more when I look at what other people are doing and go, I can't let them win. So, yeah, good times. The other thing that's really good too is that it means that I can be more active with my girls. I can, do more things, go more places, show them more stuff. And especially now that I've moved up to a fairly remote part of Australia called in far north Queensland and Cairns. It's not remote in the sense of out in the outback, but it's got a lot of natural resources around. We can do things like go for walks in the rainforest, and go out and look at the climb into the hills and stuff around Cairns, which is really nice and pretty. So yeah, it's good fun. Highly recommend it. So I guess the moral of the story is Stones, don't axe Don for drinking whiskey. It's good for him. Make him big and strong like a bodybuilder. Okay, Man in Black decided he didn't want to play against Black. There you go. Default. Yes, so JD is the answer. Although I went... where did I go the other night? I went to a restaurant for the Harley Christmas party, and they didn't have any Jack Daniels. They had Jim Beam they had a bunch of other things. Yeah, correct. No, sorry, diamond. So you got platinum, then diamond, then mythic. Yeah. Yes, hammer, default is the best, the two best, greatest words in history. Yeah, diamond, then mythic, so got a little way to go. Jameson's great. The other one that I really like is Proper 12. I don't know if you've got on that bandwagon yet, my brother. Proper 12's pretty good. It's not a bad drop. Yeah, give it a run. I can't remember that... was it tequila that we had that tasted like fruit? Was it tequila? I'm trying to remember. Do you remember the one I'm talking about, Don? We went to I think we went to a pub with Omar. We went to a restaurant with Omar, and we were having tequila, and there was one that I think was from. Yeah, rum. That's what it was. Madagascan rum. Yeah. Oh my god, man, that was unbelievably good. So, for the rest of the people in chat and watching on YouTube, basically, we went to this place that is like a rum bar, and Don hooked me up with a neat rum. It's a white rum, and it tasted like Sprite. It was that like not fruity but sweet from fruit, and the flavor, it was just amazing, absolutely amazing, from Madagascar. So there you go, a bit random. But yeah, highly recommend checking out, if you haven't, Proper 12. Obviously, if you're over 18 in Australia, or over 21 in the US, whatever the rules are where you live. Yeah, I like Proper 12. It's Jameson-esque, slightly different. It's got a different taste to it. Give it a run. See what you reckon. I've got a couple of nights getting loose on that around the house here. I can tell you that, over this zombie apocalypse. Yeah, cool. It's Conor McGregor's brand of whiskey, which means it must be good, because Conor McGregor's a legend. Alright, so I've just put that enchantment on here because I want to be able to push some extra damage. If they kill it, they kill it. I don't really mind. Yeah, I think most people during the lockdown of the world have spent time consuming copious amounts of booze. Which is completely reasonable from my perspective. Oops, play the land first. Start building up our board state. What's spell table? Oh, okay, cool. you go. There's always more to learn. That's what I say. Yeah, 100%. Love to play some Commander, man. You'll have to remind me. I'm getting forgetful in my old age. And by that I mean I've just got lots going on. But yeah. Hell yeah. Play some Commander. Slaps the cardboards. My girlfriend is... she humours me and plays a bit of Commander with me, which is nice. Okay. Do they block? That's the question. Do they block? They do. Okay. Play this onto this. We'll axe this and we'll axe this. Yes. See if we can push through enough damage. Oh, look at you and your cheeky chops. How very dare you kill my creature. Not ideal. Counterspell. Let's get ready for a counterspell. Okay. No counterspell. I need a creature. Creature, please. Okay, that's a creature. I have to play it. I need to put pressure down, otherwise they're just going to chip away at me eventually. Yay! Alright, let's see if this resolves. It does. And then I'm going to cast a skeleton, a serrated scorpion even. That is what it is. That's a bit rude. Get rid of this, get rid of this. Take 6 on the chin. What do we got here and here for nothing else from that perspective? Cast this. Are they going to flash something in, chat? Are they going to flash something in to try and stop us from pushing through the damage? That's the question. No, they're not. Okay. I feel you were incorrect. Unfortunately, I would have preferred that they did. Okay. Do they have another Menacer, I wonder? That's the question. Ah, oh, look at you go. It's not very nice. That one. And that one. All right. Maybe they will scoop. Maybe you were right, Don. You were before your time. Maybe they'll try and draw an extra card and commit Super Kai. Hey. You're always thinking 3 turns ahead, are you, Don? There you go. I'm going to start calling you Don Trinamus. Don Trinamus. Crazy. Absolutely insano. How did you know? You must have had a premonition. Did you write a book? Did you write a book with all of your predictions for the future? Anytime you're ready, server. little scary when it starts to wheel like this. There we go. Nice of you to do that. Alright, well, at this point, it's the end of the stream, unfortunately. I'll be back on Friday, 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, or Greenwich Mean Time plus 10. I saw that if I did write that book, I would be killed by MBS, so I decided against. Yeah, fair cop. That's fairly insightful of you, as it were. What's MBS? Mobs. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Flash mobs. Yeah, streaming on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Feel free to join back in. I really appreciate everyone tuning in today. I just got to get to the 3 average viewers per stream. Currently running at 1.7 because you have a stream with 1 person and you have a stream with 2 people and it drags your average down. So today is going to really help to bolster that up. And if I can do that a few more times, hopefully I'll get it to the 3 by the end of the month. Friday will be a super cool day if you are able to join back in, have a chat, / even if you're just opening up a window, leaving the stream run in the background and putting me on mute so you don't have to listen to me. I really do appreciate it. Other things to just call out to everyone. I have a stream sponsor, Spectrum Gaming. I'm not getting any kickbacks from them or anything like that. All I'm trying to do is encourage people to use them. They're a really good customer service, which is something that I'm big on. The owner of the business is offering friends of the stream 5% off at checkout. Just type in when you check out the code. When you check out, use the code Spectrum Greetings to get 5% off your order. If there's anything that you want that they don't have in their store, contact them. They may be able to get it in for you. Other than that, I'll catch you all on Friday. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic couple of days, I guess. And once again, really do appreciate it. Have a great day. Cool? Thanks, guys.